Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so today I actually don't have a lot of information coming in about what this reading is going to entail or the flavor it will have. I am hearing full moon energies rolling out. So after the last full moon, it's been pretty intense. Okay, well, I'm splitting the deck and I see first chakra and duality. Root chakra supports our sense of safety in the physical world and reminds us to enjoy our physical bodies. So grounding into the physical, remembering that it is, I'm hearing it's not a sin to have intimacy and full love relationships. And so, you know, we've almost had this superstitious resistance to going towards what we want. And the duality here. So duality supports our ability to gracefully flow with the everlasting movement among all opposites. So there is a time, if we've been in separation, energy indicates that we will flow into togetherness. And I'm hearing, if it's felt like a doozy, being alone in the world and balancing this out, all the more you will be blessed coming into union. Right before I was in this reading, actually, I was shown my counterpart now, and I was shown a time-lapse history of the people that I have been drawn to in my life. And I was shown how all of those individuals that I've been drawn to, there are aspects of them in this person. They've all been pointing me towards this particular person in my life. It is absolutely stunning. So yeah, there is an overview of the pendulum swinging, the spectrum that we've encountered on this journey in our lives, and that's all coming into the physical now that we have explored the opposites, the extremes, the spectrum. So let's see what we can. Let's get one more card for the collective. Where are we at, collective? We are getting abundance. Isn't that a nice thing? Surprise, abundance. Activates our ability to manifest the wealth we need and the sense of fulfillment that comes from a heart and soul that are overflowing with love and gratitude. Diamond attitudes in the collective, and this is bringing in the abundance. This is the secret to manifesting abundance, is having that beautiful love and gratitude based attitude within. So this is another message we got at the end of a reading recently, that wealth was coming in, that financial backing, that energetic karmic payout was going to be happening, and that there was going to be more wealth distributed to the twins and through the twins and to the conscious people on the planet that will be entrusted with the appropriate stewardship of those things for community, for progress, beautiful things. So how can the masculines further access? Spirit has a plan, abundance. So you might not know what the plan is yet, Spirit has for you, masculines, but the third eye is being illuminated here. So you are beginning to get some intuitions. At least the trust is deepening that abundance is the way of it, and the attitude of love and gratitude are going to be bringing you into alignment with what you want. I'm even hearing, masculines, that as you become more and more grateful for your feminine truly in your life, instead of resisting it or feeling it's out in the distance to come into union, that as you align more fully with receiving and accessing that connection, it's teaching you a lot about aligning with what is for you and what feels good and right and true on your path. Heart and soul based. So this is where further instruction is going to come in, because you've so masterfully learned how to dismiss the fear and go towards love in these connections. It's going to spill out into the rest of your life, and you are going to continue getting good ideas going forward that feel as good as your counterpart and your connection is starting to feel. Okay, what can we see for the feminines? a rebirth is assured, so changes. This is like the Hanged Man. This animal's third eye is also being lit. You know, I just saw a vision in a private reading prior to this of certain people in the world working with bat energy, and how there is a kind of radar going on with bats, but not necessarily a clear, you know, vision through the eyes. And this is both. It's like the eyes are opened and the third eye is opened. So there's like a duality being harmonized as well, with vision and third eye vision. A rebirth is assured, and we're coming out of needing to specialize in separation energies and the insight, the intuition that we've needed to really dial in at a distance from our counterparts. So feminines, trust the process. It's all been for a reason, so that you could understand the energetics, believe in them. You know, you can't make it up when you're having astral experiences or telepathic experiences or signs and synchronicities. You wouldn't have those if you weren't in the illusion of separation. So this rebirth is assured because it's always been set to come back in and to harmonize and to close that gap with the duality. Okay, let's get into what we can for the daily reading. So let's see where the DMs are at. Ooh, I'm being told to do 2 readings. So I may do, let's see, how do I do this? Where the DMs are at, what they would say, where the DFs are at, and then what we can do as a forward motion step and a releasing step. So this is going to be a reading to show how to continue walking in grace. So what I'm just being told. So for the masculines, what are they thinking and feeling? What would they say to their counterpart about what they are experiencing at this time? What would the divine feminines like to show the masculines is going on in their energy at this time? What can the collective do stepping forward? And what can the collective release in the connections at this time, or towards the connections, the karmic things? All right, so masculines, what are they thinking right now? Well, they're really feeling the separation. What would they say to the feminines? I want you to choose. So they have chosen to come out of separation, and they are waiting for you to also want to come out of separation. Once and for all, I just heard. What are the feminines feeling in the connections? Okay, I just heard they're sitting pretty. So feminines, look at how her eyes are closed and she's kind of looking the other way with her pentacle here dangling. So feminines, you know, it's one thing to be magnetic and know your worth, but that doesn't mean that everybody has to come to you and serve you. You have to roll out that red carpet and bring yourself to the table as well. So the masculines are saying you've got to choose in your heart. You've got to get past any of the pretense. You've got to get past the rules, regulations, the strategies. And you've got to also want to look at your masculine. You can't just sit there and expect it all to be done for you, to you. You've also got to show that you do choose your masculine. You know, like, there's a lot going on in these connections where the feminines are waiting for the masculines to come to these awarenesses on their own. But if you have eyes to see, there's been a lot along the journey where the masculines have given you more cues than you have picked up on to divine feminines. So it's about both choosing, and that can look like any manner of different processes and outcomes of communication, all of that. So yeah, divine feminines, yes, you can have a knowing that it's going to happen, but you also have to bring things to the table. You can't, this is a quote that's been coming a lot lately, passivity breeds passivity from the universe. So if you are going to access and come into union, you have to put one foot in front of the other. You have to bravely step forward towards what you're asking for at the same time. What can we know that the collective can do next in this regard? Oh, best friends. So really embody this heart truth of your counterpart being your best friend. This is your partner. This is your safe space. This is your comrade. This is your person. And so let that sink in. How golden rule I'm hearing. So everybody watching, is this person truly worthy of being your best friend? Maybe they're not. Maybe that means that this isn't your person. But if you truly have this embodied love in action, that this is the person that you have been inspired to be a good friend, the most impeccable friend with, balanced and true. Search your soul. If you haven't been, how can you be more of a friend to your person? That's this next instruction coming in. What can we see for what to release here? Queen of Wands. Okay, Queen of the Thrones of Flame. So that's an interesting one to release, because this is the image. In this sense, when we're releasing Queen of Wands energy, it means we're letting go of the ego, letting go of the physical focus, the superficial, the sexy, attractive, showy kind of stuff, and really just dropping into this affinity, getting past that hot and heavy attraction and just remembering this is the person you're going to spend your life with. This is the person that you can be your true authentic self with. So it's about letting anything go where you have felt you needed to be extra in any way, or be something you're not, or be better than you are. All that pressure just needs to be released. What can we see for the masculines thinking consciously about their counterpart? There is no one that compares to you, Divine Feminine. 3 of Cups, this is the third parties and all of that. The masculines have made their choice. They see you, nothing compares to you. What would they say to you? Still don't have all the answers, but I know you're my choice. What would the feminines be saying and doing right now? Feminines are continuing to walk towards their happiness. 8 of Cups is when we take matters into our own hands and we really think about, what do I want? Where am I going? What can my life look like? That means you won't lose yourself when you come into union. It doesn't mean you're forsaking your loved one, your counterpart. This means that you're not so worried about the love being a question anymore, and you're now seeing that what will be, and you need to be happy with or without your person. That's a beautiful energy, feminines. What can we see for the instructions here? 7 of Wands, inner bravery. So masculines, you've got to be brave right now to not need to know all the answers, but just to know who you want to discover those answers with. And feminines, keep designing your happiness, going towards what you know as a sovereign being makes your heart sing. Bravely go towards that, even if your masculine isn't, in the picture fully right now. It may feel like you're going it alone, but you're not. You're laying a foundation. What needs to be let go of? Okay, Lord of Pleasure, 6 of Cups. In this sense, we need to let go of superficiality, materialism, temporary quick fix, instant gratification. This is a time to just get real with ourselves and purify, refine, let go. This is where we really don't walk to the beat of anyone else's drum. This is where we don't have to know the answers, because if we're true to ourselves, oh, a snuggly tree wanted to cuddle. I love it when trees want to cuddle. This is about being true to ourselves and letting go of any external pleasure that is not true and in alignment. What are the masculines feeling on the heart space? Prince of Swords, they're curious. Think before you act. So they're really looking, they're studying. I heard they're trying to figure out how to come forward, how to communicate in a way that's going to be infallible, that's actually going to express what's on their heart accurately. I just heard my feminine is so good at speaking from her heart, their heart, that I need to honor that in kind. What would the feminines say here? They're just in love. The feminines are just feeling the love. It's like waves going through the feminines right now. The self-affirming, prophecies. So instead of, looking at the fears and having these panic waves, it's like having the love sink in. These waves of grounding coming in for the feminines. What's the instruction at this point? 8 of Coins, continue doing the inner work. Masculines, continue finding your heart's truth. Feminines, continue allowing your heart to be adjusted by higher truth, by love coming in. What are we releasing at this place? Oh, the King of Wands. So that's like the Queen of Wands here we got already to release. So this is the bravado, this is the control freak stuff, this is the domineering. I think we got this in the King of Swords a few readings ago about where there is dominance for dominance sake and not true empowerment. And so yeah, this is letting go of anything. I'm hearing refining fire. So letting go of anything that doesn't speak from the ultimate bedrock of the soul in these connections. These are the counterparts, the best friends that get to interact that way together. What is on the heart space from the masculines to the feminines? Prince of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Prince of Pentacles is carrying that offer, and the Ace of Pentacles is an offer. So the masculines have an offer on their heart, a genuine offer, feminines, of a new beginning. I'm hearing for some it will be a year of committed to getting to know each other. Feminines have mental progress, not so much in a hurry, just wanting to see valid results now, I just heard. What are the encouragements and steps? Page of Coins. So we've got the Prince and Princess of Coins with this offer. So I'm getting that this is not the feminines offering, but the feminines receiving. And so, yes, feminines, get ready to receive this Ace of Pentacles, this offer of being able to go deeper with your masculine. It's coming. Wrap your mind around that, feminines. What do we need to let go of? The Emperor, control issues. We need to just appreciate where things are at, acknowledge what we do know about each other and counterparts, and just let it unfold naturally. Relax and be yourselves. Just allow this thing to be. Be receptive, be proactive, be in love. What can we see for the wishes the masculines have for these connections? I'm addicted to you in the reverse and divine timing. So they are coming out of the lust, and they know that much of the heating and cooling has been this divine gearbox running the show here. That when the attraction kicked up, there were beneficial things to learn together. When it dipped off, there were independent studies that were the priority. That the divine timing has been responsible for these periods of intense sexual pull or curiosity or engagement, and then there have been times where there have needed to be integrations. What are the feminines thinking of this? No longer juggling, no longer confused about these cycles. I'm getting that the feminines are also balancing out and going with the flow. Whichever season the connection is in, they are not losing themselves and going towards their own happiness regardless. In the early parts of this journey, work was disrupted and relationships, karmic relationships disrupted, and sleep schedules disrupted, and eating disrupted, and moods disrupted. The feminines are balancing all of that out. The masculines are balancing all of that out. What is the instruction? Here's the Queen of Coins. Oh, look at how that Queen of Coins. So instead of kind of like daydreaming and like barely touching this over here and being aloof, look at it, it's cradled like a baby now. There's this brand new offer. So being that said, the masculines might be actually offering to have a child with you, divine feminine, or to get you pregnant. This is the mother. So if that doesn't resonate, some project, some offer, feminines, you are becoming open to going deeper in some very sacred ways right now. What do we need to release? We need to release needing to look like we have it all figured out. This is Lord of Valor, the Seven of Wands. We already got that card as a positive thing, but this is the lower vibrational aspect of it, where we are the survival template. Get out of my way, I can do it, I'm the only sane one, capable one, I'm the only one that can do it right. Getting out of that and really coming into teamwork together. Appreciating the other for what they can bring fully. Honoring, respecting. I'm hearing Fatboy Slim praise you in my mind right now. Okay, what can we see for the actions the masculines are taking? Princess of Swords, spying. I just want space. I just want to go to space. So the masculines have always just wanted spaciousness in the connections, but right now they are trying to get an objective viewpoint. So give them space right now, feminines. They are really watching. They're watching their own responses to things. They're watching you. They're letting the majesty sink in, I just heard. You know how when you're looking at the night sky and you feel in awe? There is this awe-inspiring energy coming in for the masculines where they're surveying all of it. And I'm hearing, knowing that they're never going to be single again. And it's like breathtaking because they are seeing in one fell swoop, they're seeing their splendor. They're seeing their kingly energy. They're seeing your Empress energy, their Emperor energy, 2222. They're seeing your magnificence. They're seeing that everything is ripe for the taking, that they've arrived. They're on the precipice. This is the cliff the fool comes to, and they want the space to survey the land. They want to look out over their life and say, look how far I've come. I am proud of myself. I've made it. And my feminine sees me in that energy. And so they want to revel in it, feminines. They want this moment of glory all to themselves. I'm gonna cry. What are the feminines? Queen of Swords. Yeah, don't communicate. They don't want to communicate. So many feminines, you have said your piece and now you're giving space. I know a lot of feminines have just recently been inspired to bring a lot up for consideration through this full moon. There has been communication. Right now there's a pause. Feminines, you are not communicating right now in some ways, just so this moment of glory can be felt by all. Five of Swords. This is my card of free will. So in the upright, this would indicate knee-jerk reaction, karmic shortcuts, all kinds of hyperactivity. In the inverse like this, there is such a masterful accountability. There is such a different safety coming into these connections that hasn't been there before. And with the Princess of Swords and the Queen of Swords, masculines are in deliberation right now, but everybody knows it's a good thing indeed. What can we let go of? Codependency, Lord of Material Gain. So right now the most important thing to let go of is the idea that these relationships would serve material gain, and that true abundance, the synergy that comes in with these, is truly because of the love. and that abundance in a material sense, material gain, is not what is in question here. Although they will truly be exponential relationships, you know, many karmic relationships have, good on paper, it looks like there will be abundance, but they are not nearly as abundant as they could be if love was at the core. And so that's a very important consideration right now, to look at these unions in the eyes of not business agreements. We're so accustomed to having connections through the dowry system and ownership templates. And I'm not saying not to get legally married, but to really understand the energetics of teamwork and looking at not losing ourselves into these connections. It's not about material gain, but it can damage material gain if we're not conscious. If we're not engaging in a conscious way, we can make sloppy decisions. We don't keep our wits about us. We lose ourselves. We think we'll just do something and then it will work out eventually, instead of really considering and having our sanity there. So there's a lot of contemplation as these connections become viable in a material realm sense. There are many considerations about assets and finances and how to ground these things. So everybody is meant to look at, the feminines are meant to look at your financial picture. Masculines are wanting space so they can look at what they have to consider at this point. I'm hearing prenuptials for many. So yeah, we have to let go of the idea that we hinge love with focusing on what's best for all involved coming into relationships regarding assets and money. So yeah, it's not unloving to take a deep, hard look at those things prior to jumping into a commitment together. What is the biggest challenge for the masculines at this time? Humility and reaching out. So it might be a challenge because it's coming up for consideration. There is going to be this is the Ace of Pentacles again. So this is that offer. The biggest challenge is staying in alignment with overcoming the devil energies in order to reach out from the highest frequency. What are the feminines in? High Priestess, yeah, so you know something's coming. Many of the feminines know that there's something happening here, and you might be feeling like you should reach out. So if you are feeling to reach out, you can. In certain ways, this is non-action. This is kind of action based on mercy, humility, compassion, and you might feel inspired to reach out. You might feel inspired in unique ways to just give a little bit of support to your masculine that you can feel is wanting to reach out here. So there might be little things that you say or do that you haven't expressed for the record. That is in the energy. If that's not what you're feeling to do, just know that you might be feeling in the 5D, in the energetic realms, this brewing that your masculine is preparing to reach out. What is the encouragement? 10 of Swords. Yeah, heal this idea that you're separate from each other and take the stigma out of reaching out. If you're a feminine, take the stigma out of reaching out. If you're a masculine, take the stigma out of reaching out. Just give yourself permission. If you feel like reaching out, do it. If you don't. Okay, people? What is the thing we need to let go of here? Lord of Material Success in the reverse, 6 of Pentacles. There's another stigma that if one or the other doesn't seem to have enough, or doesn't have enough by their standard, that it's not time to engage in communication. We can engage in communication. We can start talking honestly and openly about where we're at financially, because this is a pentacle card. So we have a lot of pentacles and money consideration and life stage considerations and all of that. So these are real conversations about the actual material realm circumstances that are coming in. This is the challenge, is knowing when and how and what and if. So the masculines have been overcoming the idea that they might not be good enough to reach out. You flip-flop that any way that resonates. It's just a matter of alchemizing where each are at, but those conversations need to happen is what I'm hearing. But what is the spirit-guided solution for the reach out? No, don't reach out, masculines, not quite yet. Just wait with it. At least another day, I was just hearing. So wait for the transformation to be complete, because if we try to initiate anything prematurely, the things that we can think and dream and plan from this stage are not going to be as splendorous as what we can design from a fully healed point of view. So unless you know you have come through, and there are many who have, so it's not just a blanket statement, it's a spectrum. There are some ahead, some still working on things, and some just waking up to the journey, which is going to happen for the rest of eternity. From now on, people will consistently be waking up on the twin flame journey. There are some twins in union, and more twins on the planet will start coming into union as humanity ascends, and many will just be waking up. So it's all about timing, and it's all where you're at on the journey. So don't reach out until your transformation is complete, masculines, until you have it in your heart with full permission and knowing about who your feminine is, and for your own reasons. What are the feminines being asked to look at, or how are they looking here? Page of Pentacles. So this is you, developmental stage, Page of Pentacles, holding on to the gratitude of right where you're at, the kindness about money, self-love regarding that, self-love with the masculines regarding their financial situations. This can have to do with taking care of children, considering assets and finances regarding children, blended families I just heard, making room for babies, lots of different aspects that can be considered here, passion projects, all of that. So feminines, just stay grounded. This is a grounded, practical, stable approach. You're being asked to also just really have kindness on self and other, and practicality. It's a very practical assessment. What are we being encouraged? 8 of Swords, get ourselves out. So if anybody out in the twin ethers out there is in fear about finances, assets, or feeling trapped and powerless and hoping for a savior in the counterpart, any gold digger energies, any desperation, you might not think of yourself as a gold digger if you're in debt and, in a bad situation, and you're hoping your twin is going to come forward and rescue you out of that. This is saying everybody is encouraged to see where we're playing victim, where we don't feel good enough or whole enough on our own still regarding our finances, and really work on those fears. Work on shifting out of materialism and into productive, grounded, correct root chakra healing, money story healing, so that it's not an external thing that can lord over us, but a conduit of intention and innovation and worthiness. What are we letting go of? We're letting go of keeping a blind's eye, turning a blind's eye to these energetics that are inherent in monetary systems. So dynamics of codependency piggyback on the finances in dynamics, in relationships. So do your research. Look into how systems generate abundance or not, and what those foundational energies need to be. We need to have the same reasons why. We need to be on the same page. We can't just want the same goal, because those agendas under the surface make for a bumpy ride. So really look at how as above, so below, how the energetics of money and assets and living together and sharing time and resources is a reflection of the contributions or lack thereof, or balances or imbalances in the dynamic. It is reflected into the way the material realm rolls out. And so we're letting go of, being naive and not seeing those things for what they are. What is the direction of the connections? Prince of Wands, and you are right. So it's coming out of the lust. That's my player card. Hot and cold ghosting, breadcrumb. It's in the reverse, which means it's turning into the King of Wands. The Prince of Wands is growing up, and you are right. These connections have been developing. I'm hearing feminines, the masculine, saying, you're right. I've loved you all along. I was immature. I've grown. I was blind, but now I see. And they are saying you're wise to have stuck by them and to see this potential in them, feminines. They're acknowledging that. They're going to be telling you that. Feminines have victory. You can't make it up. Yeah, feminines have been right. The masculines are about to tell you you've been right. You've been infallible. Your heart has known, and you've never given up, feminines. This is really, really beautiful. So the masculines are saying that you deserve their love. Feminines, what are we instructed from this place? The Hermit. So this is like what I heard here was, instead of being in hermit mode independent of each other, this is going to be a joint hermit mode. You're going to go into deep meditation with each other about how to ground these connections into the physical with finances and living situation and work and passion projects and future visions and children, all of it that's starting to come in for the collective. And so there's going to be this focus on the destined path together. Alignment, loyalty. What are we letting go of? The Lord of Despair and Cruelty, Nine of Swords, angst, anxiety. We're letting go of this one-eyed hairy monster here of fear. We're letting go of fear, and we're informing ourselves. We are learning how to learn. We're learning how to have success in these connections. Beautiful. So let's see what the masculines need to know. Final card. Forgiveness. Oh, beautiful. Forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. So let go of all the times that your love wasn't seen. Let go of all the times that relationships didn't work out. Let go of all the times that you hurt, masculines. Forgive, because it's a brand new day and your feminine loves you. Loves you so much, masculines. Forgive all that came before. Forgive your feminine for not knowing better sooner. Forgive yourself for needing to grow and develop and mature. Forgive it all. Forgive the generations. Forgive the planet. Forgive the barbaric energies. Forgive our sweet souls for feeling alone and ill-equipped. Forgive so that we can do better. What are the feminines needing to see? Wow, got some tears today. Feminines, strength. The frequency of strength supports our ability to harmonize all our qualities and skills towards a strong and balanced way of being. No more messy, sloppy, ill-equipped, convoluted flailing, feminines. Tap in, show the world the real you. You've been preparing for this moment all of your life. This is like the arrival. I'm really looking at this victory. And with the feminine having victory here, this is you proclaiming it, proclaiming what you know to be true. Feminines, have the strength to own the love that you know is so true on your heart, unapologetically, to the point where you have no fear. It just is. I imagine my masculine coming forward in response to my energy and saying, yeah, you're right. And it not being a big showy anything, you know? Just, yeah, you're right. Bye for now, everyone.